marriage of an esteemed supreme healer, a noble ruler. Chapter 1780, 1780 meeting. The marriage of an esteemed supreme healer, a noble ruler. Chapter 1780, 1780 meeting. Previous chapter. Next chapter. 1780 meeting. Chu Liuyu was confused. Marriage in half a month. Why don't I know? And this invitation card, when did he prepare it? He actually took it out casually. Chu Liuyu was dazed. Miao Zhen took the invitation. As soon as he touched it, surprise flashed in his eyes. The invitation card was actually made of ink brocade paper. Ink brocade paper was extremely precious rice paper. It was famous for its rare materials, complicated craftsmanship, and extremely low production. It was also because of these reasons that ink brocade paper was extremely expensive. But even so, ink brocade paper was still extremely popular, causing everyone to flock to it. This was because ink brocade paper was very tenacious, although it was extremely thin. The sharp tip of a blade couldn't cut it, nor could the icy water or flames destroy it. As long as it was kept well, it could last more than 10,000 years. Not to mention ordinary people, even these first-rate families in the god residence realm might not have so much. However, such precious ink brocade paper was actually used by Rongxiu to make a wedding invitation. Miao Zhen really didn't know if he should say that Rongxiu was too extravagant or that he valued this wedding too much. Perhaps he values the person who is about to marry him. Miao Zhen carefully read the invitation and then smiled. Don't worry. I'll definitely prepare generous gifts and personally congratulate you too. Rongxiu smiled with deep meaning. Then, you and I will wait for your arrival. Just as the two of them walked out of the barrier, Chu Liuyu grabbed Rongxiu's hand. What's with the invitation? The wedding is in half a month. Why didn't I know about it before? Rongxiu smiled and let her hold his wrist. His voice was low and gentle. I decided on the wedding day just now. In fact, it has been delayed several times. This time, I don't want to delay it anymore. In half a month, we'll return to the Sky Cloud Empire and get married immediately. Although his voice was as gentle and soft as usual, his tone was firm. Clearly, he had made up his mind on this matter. Looking into his deep and calm phoenix eyes, Chu Liuyu suddenly froze, and the rest of the question suddenly fell silent. Yes, Rongxiu has said this too many times. However, we never seem to have the right time and opportunity. It has been too long. My father. Don't worry. I've already sent someone to invite him over. He should be arriving at the Sky Cloud Empire soon. In addition, your friends and subordinates will also go to the Sky Cloud Empire together. Chu Liuyu was dazed. Rongxiu's lips curled up slightly as he patiently explained, Mu Hongyu and the others will come. In addition, once Sen Yu receives the news, he should also directly inform the 13yu guard. Chu Liuyu's eyes widened slightly, and it took her a while to say, You prepared all of this before you went to Godly Phoenix Mountain. From then on, Rongxiu had been traveling with her. She thought that he should have done these things before that. Rongxiu raised his eyebrows and did not deny it. He originally planned to get married after bringing her back from Godly Phoenix Mountain and when everything was ready. It was just that too many accidents had happened later that it had dragged on until now. Are you blaming me for not discussing it with you before? Rongxiu lowered his voice. But I don't want to wait anymore. Chu Liuyu's heart suddenly felt as if it had been hit hard by something. Tears welled in her eyes as she smiled and nodded. Me too. Let's go home. Look. Someone's coming. Shang Huanjing suddenly sensed something and looked up. Suddenly, his gaze focused. The two figures in front. Why do they look familiar? That's wrong, Xiu and Yuer. Nan Suhui followed his gaze and was instantly pleasantly surprised. Although Chu Ning's cultivation realm was low, he had the indestructible holy body. Thus, his eyesight wasn't bad. He also looked over and immediately became excited. It's indeed Yuer and the others. Shang Guanjing had already rushed forward. Nan Suhui looked back at the Xian formation. With a wave of his sleeve, the stream of light dissipated. Then, he followed with Chu Ning. Yuer. Shang Guanjing was the fastest and quickly shortened the distance between the two sides. Rong Xiu and Chu Liu also sensed the few of them and immediately sped up. Ancestor. Father. Master. Previously, the people from Godly Dragon Island had rejected them. Coupled with what Tuan Zi had said, Chu Liu guessed that they should still be waiting outside. As expected. Hearing her voice, they were overjoyed. Shang Guanjing stepped forward, unable to hide his excitement. He first sized her up from head to toe. Yuer, how are you? Were you injured on Godly Dragon Island? They didn't do anything to you, right? Chu Liu's heart warmed as she smiled. Ancestor, don't worry. Don't you think I'm fine? As she spoke, she deliberately turned half a circle around so that they could see clearly. Actually, she had indeed suffered a small injury on the Godly Dragon Island, but that wasn't worth mentioning. In addition, her recovery ability was extremely strong. At this moment, there were almost no injuries on her body. Moreover, her internal condition was good too. Shang Guanjing was relieved to see that she was indeed looking good. That's great, that's great. Nan Suhui and Chu Ning also rushed over. Nan Suhui first looked at her, then at Rong Xiu. Are you doing well? Rong Xiu nodded. Only then did Nan Suhui's worried heart calm down. With him around, there is indeed no need to worry. Yuer, how did you get out? Chu Ning asked. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. The Marriage of an Esteemed Supreme Healer, a Noble Ruler. Chapter 1781. 1781 Befriend. The Marriage of an Esteemed Supreme Healer, a Noble Ruler. Chapter 1781. 1780